flowing through our veins. Sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old style beers out at the game. Let's go Cubbies, Son Ranto.
With Michael.
Son Ranto.
And Crawley.
Son Ranto and the lovable loser. Son Ranto.
With Michael.
Son Ranto.
And Crawley.
Son Ranto and the lovable losers. Son Ranto.
Oh, I got it. Boom. That didn't make a pretty shitty pop, but I don't know if you heard it.
Weak sauce.
That was a weak sauce pop, but it was quite a nice Son Ranto call.
Is that the best bottle of champagne you could get from the Jewels?
Yeah, no, not the best one. Jules actually got a pretty good liquor department, but this is a bottle of Andre, which I think is probably only good when you mix it with orange juice. But I'm drinking champagne tonight during the Son Ranto show for two reasons. One, and where's my glass, is that baseball is officially back. The CBA has been ratified. We got 5 more years possibly of labor peace within the baseball ranks. Ooh. And also a very happy birthday to Mr. Michael Cotton. Michael, I got you baseball for your birthday. Happy birthday.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, you got me the baseball that's being played right behind me on my background. You got me this is the DH, the fucking 14 teams, the goddamn, pretty soon it's just going to be like, they're just going to get rid of the National League and AL completely. It's going to be the East and West. It's going to fucking suck.
12 team playoff, but didn't go 14, didn't make that. But you know what, man, I at this point, I'll probably bitch sooner or later. There's a lot for me to bitch about as far as like patches on uniforms and stupid shit like that. Right now, man, I am on a fucking cloud, man. I am the happiest. I can't be any happier right now, man, that I got an opening day. It works out great because it's like on a Thursday night. So taking the day off Friday, sleeping on Danny's couch. It's the other thing that happened is I'm sitting here watching. I'm freaking out because I'm going to Mesa. I'll be in Mesa next week, Sunday. And so I'm freaking out watching the games getting knocked in Mesa, Yeah.
Like,
fuck.
Well, and now there's, I think, and we'll get into like when everything's going to start and everything, but you are going to see games now. Like there will officially be games when you're there.
Right. The third game is, I'm going to see the third game that they're going to be having. So normally I'd be like seeing like the tail end of it and shit. Now I'm seeing it fresh, right from the beginning, man. So
it probably will still all be the prospects, right? Because the big league guys are going to show up and they're still going to be on the backfield stretching when they're playing games.
Well, they've already been at the players' camp, some of them. Right. Just before we get started, I do want to mention, because we had kind of promoted it on the Cubs Insider page and on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, is that we were going to have Maddie Lee, the Sun-Times columnist, on tonight to talk about the prospects, because she was at prospect camp and she was doing some great reporting down there. We wanted to have her on the show, but for obvious reasons, she can't come on tonight. She's busy, I'm sure, just like we're kind of busy. Like I had to change all the notes and learn about everything that's happening.
Oh, shit, you changed the notes?
So
I haven't even looked at them.
I'm just going to keep the Maddie Lee questions in, I figure. That'd be good.
So
I think we just ask him anyway.
Maddie says that she is looking forward to coming back on the show. She's disappointed, but obviously, we completely understand. But she definitely wants to come back another time. But as you guys know, she has a ton of reporting to do, a ton of stories to get in, and everybody's following because as of 6 p.m., free agency is open.
Yeah, and so now everybody's just looking at the Twitters and, waiting for Jeff Passan to say something.
Yeah, okay, since we're already here and Twitter's open, how come the Cubs haven't signed Correa?
Because they're cheap sons of bitches.
Come on, we've been waiting for months.
I do want to also say this, is that we've Chance for a Chance still going on. Here we go. We've got Frank Chance right here, a postcard. If you type into the chat the word #Chance. Actually, I didn't even set this up yet. Hold on. Don't do it yet. And I'll get it going. But in 2 seconds, you can type in #chance, and I will send you a postcard with to you, just like telling you I love you and how great you are, and then it'll come to you in the mail and it'll make you very happy. So type in #chances, a little something fun we do just for all the people that watch us live. So let's talk about, we got baseball. The 5th fake deadline was finally the impetus to get it done. You know, just deadline after deadline coming in, and they're like, wow, we're going to cancel games. And then they're like, there's no way we're playing 162. And then in the end, that is exactly what they're doing. They're going to have a bunch of doubleheaders to get it all done. One interesting thing is that nine inning doubleheaders are back, as long as I'm mentioning doubleheaders. So that's a thing of the past, which is freaking awesome. And so Crawley, you look like you wanted to say something.
No, I mean, I was just, I've been through union negotiations before, and everybody likes to rattle their sabers. Okay. Everybody likes to do it. And there are people that did have
Venus thing?
Yes.
Is that like a double entendre?
Yes.
Okay.
But what ends up happening is that, people did miss out. I know people that had the heckler crew went out to Mesa. They got nothing. They had a lot of fun, no doubt about it, but they didn't get games. You know what I mean? But in general, as I said over and over again, I said around March 15th is when I expected everyone to start playing, and there's no way they were going to drive this off the cliff. Cindy Spangler's on. She had tickets for her birthday in spring training. She missed out. So it sucks. You know what I mean? That once again, you don't get I believe it's going to be 1 week less of spring training. But at the same time, we are getting spring training. We are getting baseball. We are getting 162. We are getting the old school double headers in. So service time will not be manipulated again, at least because of the shortened schedule. So, there's just a lot. I just, if you guys remember.
I have a question. Do you guys think that they felt the pressure this time? That they really looked at the way that fans were walking away, and that the owners actually I know it's just Twitter versus kind of a small thing, but in the press too, they had really no reporters on their side. And so for the most part, I felt like, and they know that baseball is a declining sport. I saw Michael Cerami tweeted out the other day that the average age is like 46 or something like that.
No, it's 57 for baseball and 37 for basketball.
37, just like a whole Generation X just doesn't exist when it comes to sports, I guess. We don't matter. But I wonder if they felt the pressure. I mean, how do you feel? I mean, otherwise they could have dragged this out. The owners really wanted to win, or the players really wanted to win. They could have dragged it out. Or do you think that this was always they were just dancing around and they always knew that March 10th was going to be the day?
No, I don't think that they knew this was going to be the day. I think that the owners maybe felt a little of that pressure, but mainly because the fucking players just kept giving them everything. Like, you can't honestly keep putting it off when the people you're negotiating with just keep fucking coming your direction. Yeah. Like, that's the thing.
Let's just be quiet and let them keep giving us offers where they negotiate against themselves.
Oh my God. Like, at some point you have to fucking say, okay, I guess we'll do what you want since you fucking gave up everything.
Now, when you look at the CBA, it was always, even every offer that the players gave, still tilted towards ownership. And that is because of the fact that the players were trying to make up for too bad. You just can't do that, unfortunately, unless they weren't going to play. Now, they tried, and I think that this was a okay deal, not great, not what the players probably wanted, but I would say that they went toe-to-toe pretty well with there, but I think that this was all part of dancing around. Again, the ownership group is two separate groups as well. So keep that in mind, is that you have big market versus small market. And I don't think that the big market teams had any interest in not playing. I think they wanted to play. I think Tom Ricketts, more than anybody, wanted them to play. So you have these two different opposed groups. And I would say that because the White Sox are actually good this year, I think Jerry Reinsdorf probably, and he's an old dude and is going to die real soon. I think that he wasn't as a stickler as he was in 1994, causing problems. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, there's
according to Gordo, he was way more hands off in this negotiation than he had been in the past. Like,
maybe
because I think what you're saying, he's old, and I think he's just kind of like, I'm not going to live through this fucking CBA anyway. Do what you want.
Past his prime.
And it's not like you're. And here's the thing: it's not like the White Sox suck. The White Sox in Vegas are number 3 odds-are favorites to win the World Series. So if you're an old guy and you're about to die and you're not going to see what's going to happen in the future, and you actually have a good team.
Well, here's the main thing. Here's the proof is in the pudding. The owners voted 30-0 to ratify this one. So they're totally fine with it. Like there were no holdouts. And then, but with the teams, the team reps voted 26-4. And it leaked out who it was. It was both New York teams, Houston, and freaking St. Louis, because of course, freaking assholes. And then the executive committee, 5 of which are Boris clients, they voted 8-0 against it, against ratifying this. And it's probably because they're the higher priced players. And, the whole luxury tax thing, which was a lot of the holdup this entire time, is it still didn't get as high. Like players wanted like 268 at the end of it or something, like 268 million. The last number I saw was maybe 244. I think it gets to. That rumor was about 3:00, and I didn't see anything after that. But it starts at 230, gets to 244, so it doesn't even go up with inflation. As far as the number goes. But that should give the Cubs like $230 million. If that's the tax, that gives them like $200 million to spend. This is awesome. Correa, here we come.
Correct. The money is absolutely there. There's no doubt about it. And when you talk about it, anyone that made the league minimum is going to get $100,000 raise. Now, again, baseball players have short careers. 100,000 is still 100,000. And so, the Boris clients, like you said, those are the guys that make the top tier dollars, and they want, but everybody is not going to get those giant contracts that a lot of the guys that were on the negotiating committee have. So do you want more? Absolutely.
Even less will now.
And since we're talking about some money that the Ricketts have to spend, I think that we really need to give it to them, because apparently they can afford any fucking tax that anybody has ever thought of, because they have $4 billion to throw at a fucking soccer team in England.
Looked at the show notes, Michael, because it is in there. We will let you rant about that after the commercial break.
These motherfuckers.
Save it.
We were talking about them paying, and they're not paying,
but they can pay. Oh no, but that's different money. That $4 billion, that's rainy day money. That's the soccer money. This is
they found it in the couch cushions.
Exactly.
That's from that other set of books that we don't let the tax people look at.
Yeah, those are the rare books that Todd collects. The 12-team playoffs is a thing, and here's how it's going to work. Here's how it's going to work. The 2 top division winners in each league will receive first-round byes, while the worst division winner and the 3 wildcard teams per league will play 3-game sets to advance to the division series. The worst division winner will face the final wildcard qualifier, or the worst one, while the top 2 wildcard clubs will take each other on in that 3-game set. So, and because of this, there will be no more 163 game tiebreaker. They got to get through it. And so no more game 163s. They're going to do some like fancy math to get to it and figure out who's playing. And it's like an NFL style.
It would be head-to-head records and stuff like that.
Yeah. And no reseeding for the LDS. First seeds plays the winner of the number 4 versus 5 wild card series, if that makes sense. And then the second seed plays the 3. The second seed plays the 3 versus the 6 winner. Does that make it? That,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's a
makes sense.
normal.
The best
Yeah.
team's going to play the worst team, and yada yada. So, or they actually might, no reseeding. So I guess, what does that mean? That the winner of 4 versus 5 wildcards are second seed. I'm up. So
They're saying there's no reseeding in that. So if the
Once
5
they
and the
win.
3, if the 5 and the 3 win, that 5 is not going to move over and go against the number 1 team. You know, like if a lower seed wins and a higher seed, they're not going to flip flop where they're going.
Yeah, the best team is still going to play the worst team.
No, the best team is going to play whichever team wins out of that.
Out of 3 versus, out of the first team is going to play 4 versus 5.
Yeah, so the second
seed
place
is gonna play 3
team could
versus 6,
possibly play the 6th place team if they win the series, right? So they're technically playing, the second place team is technically playing the worst team, where the first place team would not get the worst team. If that were
that was a mouthful. That sounded like a Fergie cameo.
This is Fergie Jenkins. You're listening to Sean Rando, the 69th Beth Cup podcast.
Yeah, this
you know, and it is
fucking TV gold. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it is fucking weird how they set that up, you know, because I don't know, they should just put the 2 lowest teams against on the number 1 side and the next 2 teams on the number 2 side, and then they don't even have to fucking worry about that.
Well, the interesting thing to me about this is that it eliminates the elimination, games. I mean, will be an elimination game within the series, obviously. It could be a game 2, could be a game 3. You could have 2 elimination games right in a row for one team.
Right. If there's
what it tells me is that I have time to take a vacation after the season ends. I've got like a good week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on how this all works out, before I even have to fucking pay attention to baseball again.
Well, it could ultimately give, let's see, like 12 extra games if they all went 3. It could give 12 extra games to the owners to make the money. But yeah, I thought
12 extra games that we don't want.
Cares. Yeah.
Nobody wants those fucking 12 games. And it's going to make the good teams have to take a week off, which is going to fuck with them.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a mess.
So Bill Sugar said, so would the Cubs have won the division in 2018? That's a good question. I would have to take a look at the head-to-head matchup between the Cubs and the Brewers. That would be, you'd have to start looking at the numbers before you would just anoint them the winners.
Yeah. Well, and
now the head-to-head matchups is going to be fucking lower too, because we're not even playing our own division very much anymore. Like they're like, let's, in 2023, they're just getting rid of the fucking divisions. I told you this shit was going to happen. Fucking division games are going away. They're going to play all the teams pretty soon. There's going to be no fucking central division or whatever we have right now. It's going to turn into something else. We're going to be playing the fucking White Sox 27 times.
No, we'll probably just play them 3 times and play everybody else 3 times. That's just it. It's like, but we'll get into that in a second. It's in the notes.
So real quick
notes.
Right here, Jack.
We changed all the notes. This is not what I wanted to talk to Maddie Lee.
Jack is saying that the Cubs would have won the division in 2018 because they had the better record, which is why they played at Wrigley.
Mm-hmm.
I was at that game and I met Coach Ditka, and it sucked.
So,
that would kind of suck.
So I don't like the fact that you don't. I kind of like the 1-game wild card. I know it wasn't very popular, but
I fucking loved it. There was no better way to start the fucking postseason.
It really gave you just that kind of one and done, and really made it that you wanted to win your division. Now it's kind of like you get a bye, and I agree with you, Michael. I mean, except unless you're going to get a guy back from an injury, or you could say, and obviously the advantage of setting up your rotation the way you want it to, that is all an advantage. But I can equally see, especially if you're like fighting for your division at the end of the season, you're rolling, you took the last 10 to 12 and you win your division, and then you're like off for a week. I could see you coming out being a little rusty and just like
someone in the chat helped me out. I remember a postseason where it was the Tigers. It was the last time the Tigers were in the World Series. and they were absolutely world beaters. They were so good. And all of a sudden, they like swept the NLCS or ALCS. And I want to say the Cardinals and some other team went 7 games. And like Detroit was literally sitting on their ass for like a week. And when they came, it was just they were flat. They looked like a different team. And the Cardinals, who were absolutely scrapping and fighting through 7 games, ended up taking the series.
Yeah, I think
because baseball is not like football where a week off actually allows you to get your body better. And even in football, they talk about the rustiness and shit like that. But baseball is not that way. There's these guys are more into a routine of every single day playing. One day off, they're used to that. Getting this fucking, and you know what's going to happen, right? These 3 games are going to turn into a full ass week because they're not going to play every game. They're not going to play 3 straight days. They're going to play.
I think they will.
The AL and then the NL and then the AL. And pretty soon it's going to be 12 fucking days.
No, they're not traveling around. This is 3 games at the home field.
But they're going to play one game. They're going to play like one set on a Monday, right? They'll play 2 games on a Monday, then they'll play 2 games on a Tuesday and 2 games on a Wednesday, and they'll do all this dumb shit. Trust me, they will fuck all this up. That's what they're going to do.
Well, at least they didn't fuck it up this bad, because I tweeted this out last week, because what a 14-team playoff looks like is this, which is we at least escaped this hellscape. The 2021 Phillies with 82 wins gets in. Boston with 84 in 2019 gets in. A 3-way tie of 82 win teams, Pittsburgh, Arizona, and Washington in 2018. 2017, a 3-way tie for 3rd and 4th wild card place, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Los Angeles Angels. And then at 80 and 82. 80 and 82.
Yep. I can't wait for that fucking first team to get to the postseason with a losing record.
Yeah. Well,
oh my God, I'm going to be so excited. That's what I'm going to watch.
The Marlins 2016, 79 and 82 making it and probably play the Cubs and beat us. I bet you.
So a couple things that happened in this CBA. You got the pre-arbitration bonus pool is now at 50 million. Okay.
That's a compromise.
That's a compromise.
Players were like at 100 something. The owners were at 0. And
the players were at 110 and the owners were at 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So you got owners got the win. They could go home and wank off to, pictures of their money.
The minimum salary starts out the first year $700K, goes $720, then $740, then $760, then $780, and that's again 60% of the league making that.
That's a win. I mean, they can afford $1 million, and we all know it. So, but it's still a win.
Right.
Yeah, that's a win for the owners, is what you're saying.
The CBT goes from 230 million, starts off with, and it goes up to 244. Draft lottery at 6 picks. Amateur draft is 20 rounds, and a player can be optioned only 5 times per year. So some of these guys that constantly ride that shuttle, you can't do that to those guys anymore.
And I can't wait for the first asshole fan to be like, this sucks. They can't send him back down, and I wish. Fuck you.
Well, then they got to put them on waivers too. So there might be a lot of guys that hit those waiver wires too that you can pick up and help you out and stuff like that too. It's good. That's going to go both ways. I mean, you're talking about fringe bullpen decisions at this point.
Right. And there's one more thing, but my eyes can't read it. Really, it looks like a universal DH.
No, my fucking.
Oh yeah. In honor of Michael Gotten's birthday, the designated hitter is now in the National League.
Get
ready for that big lefty slugger to come up all fat and 40 years old, ready to suck it out of the park 2 times a game.
Yep. No, I mean, the only good thing about the DH is that, more backup catchers will get a chance to hit. Because it's the only fucking thing that's going to happen. They're not going to put another person on this team. That's just not how the fucking DH works. They don't hire people for that for the most part. Like, there's like 4 teams that do that in the AL. But one thing we didn't talk about the playoffs real quick, because they're now remember, I always hated when all these fucking assholes like the Rockies would say they were a playoff team when really they were just a wild card team, and that's not the playoffs. Now it's the playoffs. Now we just have shitty teams in the playoffs. Now we can't even fucking say that. They've ruined everything. It's just now. I mean, now we're gonna have to. Now we're gonna have to see all these assholes with shitty teams. Like, oh, we're a playoff team. We rule.
Well,
They
that's gonna
fucking
be
didn't
annoying
watch the
'cause
damn team for the whole year.
That's always in like Ricketts in all his speeches. We've made the postseason.
No, but
5 of
I'm
the
talking
last
about the
6 years.
fans. I'm talking about the asshole fans that you're like, your team sucks. And we're like, well, we were in the playoffs. Like, motherfucker, 12 teams get the playoffs now. Like,
it ain't that special. And I think that even letting in 12 teams, I saw it in New York with the NLDS. Like Yankee fans, they were so spoiled that they didn't even show up till the CS. Like you could get DS tickets at under face. It was not even a big deal. And I agree, that's what you're going to see.
that was
People
the
will be like,
Braves.
The
That
Braves,
was the
yeah.
Braves in the 90s. Fucking
My dad
nobody
and I-
would go to those games until the AL or NLCS.
My dad and I talk about one of our biggest regrets is that when the Cubs won their first postseason series since like the World Series in 1908 was the 2003 versus the Braves. And it would have been cheaper for us to fly and get tickets than what our tickets cost at Wrigley for the beer and the dog and the parking and all that shit because nobody cared. Nobody went to the damn games.
Yeah.
not until CS or even World Series. And so the other couple more changes here, or actually non-changes, things that won't happen. I mean, owners can get 45 days to change a rule, but they won't be doing it until 2023. But one thing they won't.
I can't wait for that shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, now everybody wears helmets on their feet. Just so you can't get up crazy new shit. Now the DH now the guy in the on deck circle can attack the pitcher with his bat just to make action. But how about this? The MLB will not ban the shift for 2022. They will not increase the size of the bases, and they will not have a pitch clock until at least 2023. And another new rule for players. They can now appear in sports betting ads. So get ready for that because they loosened the rules on what the players could do. So
Can I tell you those three things that you went through, I like all of those things. I like banning the shift. I like the bigger bases. And what was the third one? The
pitch clock.
Yeah, I can't believe that they fucking failed on the huge problem that we've had for the last 150 years of the bases being too small. How did we not know this before? The fucking bases are too small. Jesus Christ. The fucking game's been around since 1876. Nobody figured out to put a fucking extra inch on the base. What the fuck?
I enjoyed this picture that somebody tweeted out too. It's Ricky Henderson after he broke the record. Just somebody thrown out just a comically large base in Ricky Henderson's hand. It cracked me up. And then this guy tweeted, Carolina Card Exchange tweeted after it, if there's one thing that drives me nuts about baseball, it's those teeny bases. I'll definitely buy more jerseys now.
So one of the things that we've talked about is
it's going to make people steal bases if they make them like 1 inch bigger on each side. Like that's not going to make them steal. The reason they don't steal bases is because of math, not because of how big the bases are.
Yeah, and one of the pieces of math is you're too slow to steal that base.
You see that there could be potential for more stolen bases. You see the potential for less injuries. I keep thinking about the Derek Lee, Rafael Furcal injury. That was, what year was that? Was it 2005, 2006? 2006, yeah. And so, it's those things, like I said, the pitch clock, I can't stand all the dead time. And I think the shift sucks.
Yeah, no, the shift is the only one that I really want to change. I think that would be fair to have a position. I liked what this guy Blockhead for Real said about the bigger bases. He goes, maybe throw in a juice box and a participation ribbon. God, I hope Billy's mom brings snacks. She makes those crustless PB&Js so yummy. So
Dude, I love the juice box.
It does feel a little bit. I'm sorry. It does feel a little bit like all of the rules that they are proposing are all anti-pitcher. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm like, why are they trying to make games like 12-10? I mean, with comically large bases and like, because it's not just 1 inch on each side. It's a significantly larger base. I mean, I don't think that it's going to save injuries. Guys are still going to run into each other. Guys are still going to be freaking breaking their hands on the base. Like, I don't think that changes anything. Like maybe they can demonstrate that it does, but I still think people are going to run into each other. The one thing that I think is the shift, because it's a shortstop. It's a second base. You're supposed to play on that side of the base. And then if you can, I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, can you run after the pitch is thrown and go over to the other side of the base? And I feel bad for like Ian Happ, for example, and also baseballs. Like this is almost a purist position to take because still to this day, because I've watched so much baseball before the shift, I see balls, like I'm sitting in the bleachers and a ball gets hit. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, right into his glove because he's playing in the grass right in front of the right fielder. And it's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
You know what, Danny? I hate that too, but I'm not anti-shift. I'm not pro-shift. Like the reason it exists is because somebody fucking figured out somewhere that if you hit a ball at this angle and always pull it, then you'll be fine. Am I echoing to anybody else?
No.
Okay. Good. But yeah, but they went through the math, they went through the stats. They figured out, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to pull the ball every fucking time. Nobody's ever going to swing differently at all. And when that happened, they invented the fucking shift. It actually started with Ted Williams back in the day because Ted Williams used to fucking pull the ball like that every time.
But Ted Williams was pitching against
Ted Williams can do is fucking spray it the other way or hit it over the goddamn head.
Yeah, but
Ted Williams is the best hitter in the fucking league at the time.
Right, but I'm telling you that
you do
again,
what the fuck to do. It's the math. It's the fucking stats. They've taken all these children and they've told them, do not ever hit a base hit. You fucking swing for the fences or you don't fucking swing. I don't even know why you're in this fucking game. And then they fucking kick them out and the kids don't get to play anymore. And then they wonder why nobody likes the game.
Especially you.
I hate what this game is becoming.
You're literally the new Rob Manfred. You hate baseball more than Rob Manfred. I swear to God, you do.
No. I think it's more like what's his name from the Braves, the former reliever. Yeah. He's in the broadcast booth.
Smoltz.
Smoltz.
You're the John Smoltz of this show.
I love baseball, and how I love baseball is the fact that like it was good, and it still was good. And they're fixing shit that just doesn't need to be fixed.
That I agree with, but
they're not fixing it in ways that are actually going to fucking fix anything.
Well, can we go to commercial? Because we're already 34 minutes into this show, and I think Michael Cotton might have an aneurysm on his birthday, which would be really disappointing to him and the rest of Cubs Twitter. So I'm gonna just play a quick commercial for Sun Ranto Shopping. Please use our shopping links. It's how we keep the lights on at the podcast. sunranto.com/shopping. Stick with us. We'll be back in un minuto. If you're like most Americans, you buy shit. Lots of shit. Sometimes you buy shit for other people. Sometimes you buy shit for yourself. And sometimes you buy shit you have to buy just to stay alive. So why not buy shit through the Sun Ranto affiliate? Links at sunranto.com/shopping. We've got tons of shit you can buy. Go to sunranto.com, click on the shopping link, then click our ads and buy shit. We've got Amazon. They've got tons of shit. But you can also buy MLB shit, NBA shit, NFL shit, Fans Ed shit, Southwest Airlines shit, Fanatic shit, Reebok shit, Wine of the Month shit, Beer of the Month shit, Bear Mattress shit, StubHub shit, Lid shit, Sports Memorabilia shit, Volcanica coffee shit, Vibrator shit, Condom shit, Bag shit, NHL shit, and Audible membership shit.
there's a whole lot of shit that can help the Son Ranto Show stay on the air so we can keep talking shit. So buy shit today through sonranto.com/shopping. Thanks. Cubs Jesus thinks you're the shit. We are back. I told you it was just a minute. So I thought we should talk a little bit about now, officially like 37 minutes ago, the offseason began again. And now the Cubs could be signing Carlos Correa, as we sang about in front of Wrigley Field as Cubs carolers as we speak, or at least trying to. My personal feeling on it is that nobody's going to want to be the first team to jump out there, especially tonight, because you might get a couple of raised eyebrows as to were you negotiating maybe behind the back of everybody while the lockout was happening. You don't necessarily want to be the first guy out there. But
all the owners are like, play it cool, play it cool. My parents are coming downstairs.
I would say that what you're probably looking at right now is that I could see a big move happening at some point in time tonight. Everyone's still digesting everything that happened, but there are teams that had contingency plans for this ready to go. Here's who we're going for. Here's who we're gunning. And if the price is right, you can. I see. I don't know if the big dogs are going to come off the board right away, but it's funny because you can look at the of free agents and it's literally putting together a Cubs team. It is literally the Cubs. If you look at former Cubs, they make up like the majority of the most desired free agents. So I took a picture. I stole it from Marquee, so credit to Marquee, I guess. But if you take a look here, these are notable unsigned free agents: Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, Freddie Freeman, Carlos Rodon, Clayton Kershaw, Michael Conforto, Kenley Jansen. Now we get into the Cubs part here. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber, Jorge Soler, Jock Peterson, and Ryan Tepera. So out of this list, the whole right side at one point in time played for the Chicago Cubs.
And the whole left side should. Yeah, I mean.
There's the question. Which side do you want? You get them all, but you can only have one side.
One side? Oh, man. So
let's hear it in the
Correa, Story, Freeman, Rodon, Kershaw, Conforto, and Jansen, or Tepera, Peterson, Soler, Schwarber, Castellanos, Rizzo, and Bryant.
Yeah, let's hear it in the chat. Left or right?
I mean, can you imagine having Trevor Story and Carlos Correa on your team? Like, what do you even do? Like, I don't even know.
You put one of them at third base.
Exactly. Like when Javi used to play third. You're like, what a waste.
But I take a look here, and I think it's
Trevor Story doesn't have the arm to throw from third. You got to move him to second because he's throwing underhand now.
I would honestly, like, if you look at it though, there are a lot of guys that could be potential DHs here. As far as Rizzo is concerned, the back, you know what I mean? That's something we've talked about a lot. But Castellanos, that was always the knock on him, is his defense was kind of mediocre. It was actually him that 2018 season, a ball like hit off his head. He misplayed it horribly at Miller Park. Schwarber, we've talked about his defense, mediocre at best.
Yeah, that's a rough outfield.
Soler, we've talked about defensively, mediocre at best. Jock Peterson, mediocre at best.
Yeah, that's
so you got a lot outfield. You got a lot of lefties that can do one thing, which is hit the fucking ball hard.
You play Correa in center field, and you take the left side here is what you do. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys on the board still. Marcus Stroman came off. We got him. We got Wade Miley. You still need probably another starting pitcher if you really want to say that you're going to compete with the rotation we have. Everybody on the Cubs, except for Wilson Contreras, is replaceable as far as I'm concerned. And you could upgrade from even Nico Horner. I know everybody loves him, but you could upgrade from every single player on the Cubs right now.
Nico Horner is
when Nico is your shortstop. You can
Nico Horner is absolutely a Cub fan's wet dream, and I mean meatball Cub fan. He reminds me a lot of the Ryan Theriot or or the Augie Ojedas of the world, where people are like, "I love him, he's scrappy," but it's like, dude, you could really get someone a lot better to play that position.
Yeah.
Whenever
Especially
whenever somebody's described as scrappy, it makes me cringe.
Yeah, it really is. And Scooter Jeanette, like that's the quintessential scrappy guy. Or yeah, I mean, so you look. I mean, it's been so long since we have talked about who the Cubs could possibly sign, because we're on here every day talking about the CBA rumors and what's going to happen and how this is going to get
and now
knocked
we know
out.
they could sign every single player that they want and not break the fucking roof, the ceiling of that tax.
Yeah. So I'm just like wondering, like, when it starts. Like, I'm feeling that it's gonna take. I mean, spring training starts Sunday is the official report day. There's already guys there. As soon as tomorrow morning, maybe even tonight, they will be opening up those facilities, and I bet you the Cubs are already in there working out. Like, if it's over, it's over, and they're already down there. And I mean,
how long does Hayward take for paternity leave? You think he shows up in like 2 weeks? He just had a baby. He's just like, yeah, fuck it, guys. I'm not coming in for another couple weeks.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Twitters because I was like, oh, I hope something breaks while we're doing the show, but I'm not seeing anything so far. And I'm sure somebody will tell us in the chat if it does.
Nick Gentry says apparently it's also Maddie Lee's birthday. Oh my God. Now I'm even more upset that she wasn't on here. We could have been birthday buddies.
Yeah. It really this whole like solving the baseball labor lockout really screwed up everything, didn't it?
I am giggling though, because Bleacher Nation writes, did somebody try unplugging the rumors and plugging them back in? So
well,
I will
one less transactionally. One less thing that's going to happen is the Rule 5 draft. That's been officially canceled. But I know that they kind of wanted that to be canceled anyway. That whole thing where you can take a fringe player. Like, that's how we got Rondon.
Right.
For example, you get this fringe player. He's got to stay on your roster. And if he doesn't, you got to give him back to the team. And it was kind of a weird rule anyway. So I guess they wanted to get rid of it. But you know, I guess we're kind of back at square one again. You got Marcus Stroman out there recruiting. He's saying, come through and let's have Wrigley jumping, my dog, Team CJ Correa. And he tagged the Cubs. So he's out there trying to get it done. And, I mean, do you really think, I mean, we're back at this place that we were, I'm almost having a flashback. Before the lockout in early December, we were talking about how the Cubs needed everything. Everything.
Correct.
We could upgrade every position, every single one.
Correct.
And then when all the preliminary predictions came out from the different outlets, they all had the Cubs in fourth place, just ahead of the Pirates. So I know we're all excited that baseball's back, but honestly, something's got to change, and we got.
Jesus H. Christ! I've sat here like in misery, watching games get scratched with nothing to talk about except the same old shit. I am going to keep it a little bit positive. I am going to say I'm just fucking happy that baseball's back. That's
but it's one of those things. It's like, be careful what you wish for, because the thing you're getting back, this team
is
may not be worth going to.
Yeah,
but you know what? To me, I have been waiting for just somewhat of a semblance of a normal season, and I haven't had that since 2019. And I think this is about as close as I'm going to get to it until the next year. Is that, you know, I see that the numbers at Chicago are down. The mask mandates in Chicago are pretty much gone. Who knows if something pops up? But just for right now, I just want to fucking think about going to opening day, seeing people I haven't seen for a while, getting drunk as shit, and passing out on Danny's couch with my shoes on. That's all I'm thinking about at this point in time. I'm thinking about Arizona. I'm thinking about fun.
Fucked up that you're gonna put your shoes up on Danny's couch. I mean,
and
you're telling him about it like a month in advance.
He already knows because he's gonna take pictures anyway. So fuck it.
What kind of house
like,
are you?
take my shoes off all the time.
Well, I'm gonna bring you off your cloud a little bit because also Cody Hoyer tweets out this. The first we find out about it is from Cody Hoyer because there's a lockout that he's had Tommy John surgery and is out for the year. And refresh everybody's memory. That's who we got for Craig Kimbrell and Nick Madrigal. Well, he came with Nick Madrigal. So
this always blows me away when guys get surgery 4 minutes before a season starts. Like this happens in every sport, football, hockey, basketball. Like it's usually for those, it's like knees. Like they'll do a knee in August, and it's like he hasn't played baseball since October, just like everybody else. When did he blow his fucking arm out that he needed to get surgery? Was it recently? Was he doing something wrong when he was training on his own? Obviously. It's probably been fucked up for months. And just like the owners and their CBA waiting fucking 45 days or whatever the fuck they did, he just waited and then got it done right before we got a chance to get back to baseball.
At least this time you can't blame the Cubs medical staff because he wasn't talking to him. So, he wasn't talking to him since early December. So it wasn't their fault. Yeah, I mean, that's really frustrating. He's out for the
Corey Furlong jumps in. Just got here. Are we talking about Brandon Morrow?
Yeah, so that's kind of a frustrating thing. But we were just talking about the roster. Well, there's another guy we need because he was supposed to be the closer of the future, and now you need another setup guy. In fact, you need a closer. You need everything.
If we learned anything from Rookie of the Year, he's going to be amazing when that arm heals.
Again, it's. Am I panicking that we're not going to have a closer? No. Is it a year of less development? Yes. But in general, we're not going to not win this season because Cody Hoer's not on the fucking 40-man.
Right, but it means that they have to replace Cody Hoyer for whatever he was going to bring to this squad, whether it was going to be middle relief or an eighth inning arm or
everybody. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Everybody in the chat, raise your hand if you said the Cubs are going to be better because we got Andrew Chafin and Ryan Tepera last year. Chip Palaya's on here. He was telling me how shitty he was the whole time. There's a lot of people. You don't know what's going to fucking happen with bullpens. Bullpens are the weirdest ass shit in the world. They're fluid. 1 year a guy looks like a world beater. The next year he can't throw a strike. Who the fuck knows? It ain't going to matter.
But he was one of the guys that they had big hopes for, and that he had a big arm, and he throws with his left hand. Like, there's a lot of value.
I love you,
Chip. He's not going to be there.
I'm not picking on Chip. I'm just saying that's what happens. Weird shit happens where.
Oh, there we go. That's the ass stat.
Yeah. Chip says, ouch. In the chat.
I'm not trying to call him out, but I'm just telling you, it's a real easy example where all of a sudden you think a guy's awesome. And then this next season, he could absolutely suck Chafin. Absolutely wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that he goes back to being shitty. For whatever reason, those guys clicked this last year. And I've been sitting here more excited. And this is kind of why we were going to have Maddie Lee on tonight, because she's awesome. B, she wrote a really good article about the camp that they're having. And there is a lot of, for me, it brings me back to those years of 2013, 2014, when I'm going to be honest, guys, I went to Cubs games to get drunk and have fun and hang out with friends, but I was really more paying attention to what the fuck was going on in the minors. What did Baez do? What did Soler do? What did Gleyber Torres do? That's what interested me because the team up here wasn't that good. And so when I'm sitting here, I am looking right now, like, when people told me, like when I was, when this lockout was still going on, why are you still going to Arizona? Why? Because I wanted to see Kevin Alcantara. I wanted to see Peter Crow Armstrong. I wanted to see DJ Hertz. I wanted to see those guys. I didn't want to see the other guys. I've seen the other guys.
Doesn't DJ Hertz not sound like a baseball player? He sounds like an actual DJ. DJ Hertz. It's Hertz. Like I'm totally. I want to hear him spin. Not baseballs.
Yeah, it should be HTZ, like DJ, just like.
That's his license plate, Danny.
I would just like to see the Cubs because I'm going to just turn it right around and say that we've got the money to spend right now. So fill this freaking roster out tonight. I want the Cubs. Carly, you said it before we got locked out. I want the Cubs to be the first team out there doing shit, and we
Yes.
never
Yes.
are. We're always a middle of the pack kind of situation, and we get the money like big market teams, and we don't act like it. So I'm sick of this crap. I don't want to wait for the Yankees to go get Freddie Freeman and them be the first guys to start making moves so that the dominoes can start to fall. I want the Cubs to be out there tonight doing shit. I don't even care if it's a freaking middle reliever just to replace freaking Cody Hoyer. I'm
Just
saying
like
you gotta
that
do
commercial.
something now.
You want, just like your commercial, you want them to buy shit.
Yeah,
Get out there and
shit.
buy shit.
What I see them doing right now is 3 to 4 year deals on guys. I don't think money is going to be an issue. I think that's what you're going to see. I don't think it's going to be Correa because Correa wants 10 years. I think you could potentially see Trevor Story.
Well, honestly, 3 to 4 year deals. I mean, that doesn't fucking happen very often with the Cubs either. So that would be
Not recently.
in the positive.
That is what I see. Those are the moves that I see. I think everyone's aware that shortstop is a glaring need. When you take a look at third base and Patrick Wisdom, top of the zone issues, I don't know if that can be corrected. When you look at the outfield, that's a problem. But again, they aren't going. I'm not saying that, but what I'm telling you is they're not going to be signing. They're not going to be getting the top tier free agents going for long-term deals. You're going to see Correa get 10 years, and it's not going to be with the Cubs. We can sing all we want to our heart's content. That's not
Your
going to happen.
ass is over here being like, I'm going to maintain some positivity. And then you're like, fuck your Correa. We're not
that's
getting
gonna
them. Like,
happen.
that's the only thing we're holding out hope for.
I am trying to be also realistic about it, and I think that those 3 to 4 years with big AAVs are really where they're going to be looking at right now.
Well, Crawley, you were
that's
right about the April 15th thing or whatever. You were right about how all that went down.
March 15th, yeah. I said
yeah.
March 15th was what was going to happen. Is right around March 15th. I said, I will guarantee you there will be games right around March 15th.
Yeah, every nut finds a squirrel. We get it.
Well, let's take one more commercial break for our T-shirts that you can buy. And look, I'm wearing one right now in honor of Michael and the Son Ranto line of clothing. I am wearing my designated hater shirt tonight that you can buy.
I really need to get one of them. Somebody needs to go on the Son Ranto website, click on that,
buy one for you.
extra large.
Yeah.
Send it to me.
So here we go. Here's a commercial for our T-shirts at sunranto.com/swag.
Do you like having sex? Me too. That's why I always wear my Sunranto swag shirts every time I'm looking to get some. It's the only t-shirt guaranteed to get you laid. Knock boots in your shankless shirt. Bump uglies in a ranter long sleeve. Ride the skin-busted Tuna Town in a Dabbing Cubes fan shirt. Take gold one-eye to the optometrist in your bull penis awesome attire, or smash pissers in a Spagog shirt. Sunranto swag shirts are just like people. There are many different sizes and colors to choose from. Plus, at Sunranto's swag store, you'll find vintage John Baker Day, designated hater, and Matt Cameron drawn rally titty designs on everything from shirts and hoodies to baby onesies, bags, and hats. Go to sunranto.com/swag and check out all the sexy styles guaranteed to get you laid. You'll be stuffing the soft taco in no time. Sunranto.com/swag, guaranteed to get you laid.
Wearing Sunranto swag products not guaranteed to get you laid. Sunranto swag is not responsible for your sex life. Sunranto swag is for entertainment purposes only.
Hey, Suga's jumping in here. Did you see this? Crawley Damas?
Yeah.
Like that.
So just a couple of miscellaneous items I wanted to kind of get through tonight. As for all the MLB crying poor for there being no money in owning a baseball team, they did a deal that leaked because of Apple's earnings call, or not their earnings call, their Tuesday,
Their stock.
release all the new
Mac launch.
Mac launch. Yeah, they got a new iPad, they got a new everything, and then they announced that they're doing Apple Friday night games, and that's going to be an exclusive deal. So if you have MLB TV, and it almost like if you think about when it would be on ESPN. That you couldn't, like, a ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, that was an exclusive game to that network. So if you had Marquee Network, or if you had any kind of streaming MLB.TV and you were out of the blackout area, then you could not get that game, even if you subscribed. Apple Friday night games will be the same way. You can't get those. So that's kind of frustrating. And then Peacock is doing the same thing. They made a deal with MLB, and this all adds up to $110 million, by the way. So, that's not chump change. They're doing a deal for weekday games Monday and Wednesday.
It's absolutely chump change for these guys.
When we talked about this, though, when we talked about this before, when we talked about the difference between, there's a great article, and I sent it to you guys, I think it was a Washington Post, talking about how writers nowadays are different. And so it was more of a pro-labor tilt during these negotiations. We talked about social media and how that had an impact on how people were feeling. But I think there were three things that absolutely looked awful for the owners this time around. Three specific things that came out. Number one was the Atlanta Braves, how they had their books are kind of open, and you got to see that owning a baseball team is pretty fucking profitable. So that was breaking news. But here's the thing. You couldn't dispute the numbers. So with the owners being like, well, kind of, no, dude, it's not true. Number two, you talk about those Apple earnings. That is another huge source of revenue that, along with the gambling revenue, people are going, Jesus Christ, MLB is making a ton of fucking money. Are you telling me you can't give them more? You can't pay the players any more when you're adding all these additional revenue streams. So the amount of revenue streams that kind of came out with the Apple, with the gambling, all that stuff made the owners look really bad. The third thing is courtesy of our good friends, the Rickett family, who decided that now because of sanctions.
Dude, they're so stupid.
With
they fucked this up so bad.
So with the sanctions going on, with the situation with the Russian invasion and taking whatchamacallit, they're taking everything away from the Russian oligarchs.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening here is that the Ricketts were looking to buy Chelsea, which is an English soccer team, which is about all I know. But the opening bid would have had to been anywhere from $3.25 to $4 billion.
Yeah, it's really funny, too, because the oligarch knew this was coming down. Like, he knew he was going to get fucked. Abramovich is, I think. And then, so
Abramovich.
He tried to put them up for sale before it came down. And so these numbnut fucking Rickett assholes who have been crying poor for the last 3 fucking years and acting like, oh, we got no money. We're fucking so broke. $500,000 on the fucking baseball stadium, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh yeah, we'll jump in on this $4 billion. And then the fucking sanctions hit and they can't even do anything with it.
I know.
Now all it is, they can't buy the team, and we all know that they're lying assholes about this fucking biblical losses.
That's why I said they fucked it up so bad, because not only did they show their cards by freaking just like totally coming too fast at the moment they saw that the team
poker face ever.
Worst poker face ever. Like, we want it. Oh, sorry, I wet myself. Just like they could not handle themselves. They're like, they needed the team. And so you're telling me these teams are not profitable? Like, I know soccer is an international sport that everybody loves across the world, and it's the most popular sport in the world. Half of the rest of the world doesn't even know the rules of baseball.
What the fuck are they going to do in soccer? Because there's no caps at all anyway. Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Those motherfuckers.
Either way, they decided that owning a team is a good idea. They showed their cards. They showed that they have more money than God. And it was going to be an all debt SPAC deal or something. Yeah. But in the end, and I do agree. Like, what did the other owners say to the Ricketts when they walked into the room that day? They're like, dude, are you freaking serious right now? We're sitting here trying to cry poor, and you're like, $4 billion. Okay, we're in.
I know.
What?
I'll take one, please. Check.
Yeah,
I know.
All right.
It's on sale. We gotta go.
So so I do feel like there was some pressure put on the billionaires, and I know this. I know that this has nothing to do with anything, but today I had the idea a while ago that I wanted to make a list of all the owners and all of the businesses. I still may do this. All the businesses that they are in. For example, the first one I looked up was the guy who owns the Cardinals. I forget the guy's name, but
Bill DeWitt.
Yeah, DeWitt. So I look at Bill DeWitt. He owns a bunch of Arby's franchises, and I'm like, well, not going to those, and but I was
Danny
gonna look
sent
up,
him checks. He's like, you paid me this a long time ago. I'm giving this back.
I was going to look up all of their other businesses so that we could boycott them in general. So I feel like there was some pressure. Not that these billionaires feel any pressure, like they want to be masters of the universe, but I think the overall sentiment of baseball fans walking away and knowing what they knew about the previous strike and the previous work stoppages, and the fact that we've had, like you said, Crawley, no normal seasons. And this still won't be a normal season because we had to go through all this crap, and there's going to be some, free for all free agent frenzy that happens starting right now. Nothing about this is normal. And I felt that the owners felt that pressure, which was nice to feel. It was a pressure coming from a lot of different places. I'm just a little butterfly flapping my wings on this show. But I feel like we were pretty unanimous in how we felt about it.
Right.
Not the three of us, but everybody.
Well, anybody
who
was really paying attention, because I mean, there were those people out there that were, licking the boots of the owners there a little bit and doing stupid shit. But like, they were people nobody had ever heard of. Like, like the people who we see and we talk to a lot of people who pay attention to the fucking game all the time. Everybody was pretty much in lockstep on how they felt about who was in the right and who was in the wrong.
Yeah. So comment in the chat, hashtag capital C chance, and get your chance to win a Frank Chance postcard sent to you by me.
Not only that, though, there is something interesting. Colorcast updated their app.
Yep. Colorcast updated their app. We haven't checked it out yet because we have to have a room to check it out. So we're just going to all go in there together. Download it at colorcast. It's colorcast.st. Download it. Follow Son Ranto Show, and you will find the room that we are about to broadcast in for a post-show discussion where we're just going to talk to you and about whatever the hell we feel like talking about for a while. It's a little more free form than this show is, where we actually decided what we were going to talk about kind of before we started.
Before we lose a guest and everything changes and I don't actually read what the fuck was on that piece of paper.
Yeah. It's just unnecessary. I mean, all the best laid plans of mice and men. So quick announcement. The Martyrdom of Peter O'Hay is actually starting right now in Chicago on Cortlandt Street at the Trapdoor Theater because it's 8 p.m. on a Thursday. And we are extended for 3 weeks, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Trapdoor Theater, spelled with an R-E at the end of theater, and .com. Get your tickets. And if you want to go, let me know because I'm going to be going down there. Just like email me at sunranto@gmail or at sunranto on Twitter or whatever. I also want to make an announcement. If you're listening to the podcast and you've never reviewed us, now the season is going to start, and it helps us a lot if people review us and give us 5 stars. If you're not going to give us 5 stars, don't review us because that really sinks the entire enterprise for no reason other than you.
And why are you going to take that sort of effort to fucking review somebody? Just give them
it's
one
the only
star.
effort I ever take is to be negative. But
you have to go out of your way to give 1 star when you could just do nothing.
You could do nothing, but that doesn't satisfy my ire. So also stop saving the date. I said save the date for 4/2, April 2nd, that we were going to do like a protest or something.
We had it going. We had signs getting ready to go and everything.
Yeah, our pressure was enough. We looked down the barrel of the gun. We got the job done, and there will be no protesting now because we're going to have baseball instead. And can I announce that we're going to South Bend? All right, cool. We're going to South Bend. Crawley's throwing out the first pitch. This all just happened in a very flurry of recent activity.
I didn't even know about this.
Yeah,
Club 400 is rolling down to South Bend. So if you've ever been interested in a Club 400 trip, it's going to be a lot of fun. We just came back from Muscatine, Iowa, which was an interesting trip. We had a lot of fun, and so we are planning a trip to go down to South Bend because we thought baseball was going to be canceled, and it's not canceled anymore. but it is going to be the 9th and the 10th. I will be throwing out the first pitch on Saturday, April 9th. We have a party deck reserved, and so I will put the link on the Ranters page when it goes live. But we're the contracts are getting finished up. We're just settling everything down. Didi says Muscatine. I don't know if it's Didi or Carlos, either one. I love you guys both. But it was we had so much fun at Muscatine. We're gonna start at a brewery in South Bend Brewworks. We're gonna go to the game. We got a little party deck going, and then we got maybe a couple other surprises that are still in the works. But I would say that if you don't want to spend a ton of money, I'm not kidding you. We got tickets behind the Cubs dugout for $15 a pop, and it is whatchamacallit. We got hats and everything, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. And somebody said, I think it was Corey in the chat said, get you hammered before the first pitch, which actually sounds hilarious. Yeah, and we did kind of have plans to get a little hammered. I mean, the game's not until 4:00 on that Saturday. So there's quite a bit of time to get you like too drunk to do it and entertain the hell out of us.
I am super excited about this. So if anybody's interested, I'm gonna be sending more information about it. But tickets are probably gonna go quick. So if you've ever thought about going to South Bend and you want to kind of, or if right now, like I said, I know baseball prices you want to get into Cubs is pretty expensive. So this sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've never been. And I've always thought to go, but because of the lockout and everything, I was like, oh, well, might as well just go see some baseball, hang out with my Cubs friends in a Cubs-related event. So we lost Michael Cotton somehow. I don't know. He just disappeared out of the blue. I texted him what happened on our group text, and I guess we'll find out eventually. Maybe
the only way you're going to know what happened is if you come to ColorCast.
Yeah, well, maybe the Russians bombed us or they bombed Iowa. Yeah, so because I'm fine up here in Chicago, they won't mess with us. So I do have a TFC. I do have this flexing cube tonight. Do you have anything?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just have to point out that I really enjoyed today that Jeff Passan on the most important day. The CBA is being signed. Details are streaming in. He's Mr. Twitter. He's getting out there, getting the information to all the bloggers and things so we can all digest it. And Jeff Passan got hacked on Twitter today. And at Jeff Passan ended up as Jeff.F with parentheses Jeff Passan and his blue check mark, 802,000, all NFTs. At Skulltunes NFT, at Azukian, at Thugbirds. So dude got hacked on the most important day of the year. But this is my actual TFC. And I tweeted out that it was a very popular tweet that went out just yesterday or the day before. I said, hear me out. 30-team playoff scenario, 162 games. Then best teams in each division play each other in October. In the playoffs, winners of each league play in a quote-unquote World Series. And that's obviously like how it has worked this entire time. I just tweeted out what already existed. But Gone Noria said, at least we agree on the Cubbies, but just know keep integrity of the great game of baseball and stop messing with the playoffs. I was like, bro, you do know I just said exactly how the playoffs work.
So this is got a TFC here that made me giggle. The Athletic UK said the government has said that it could permit the sale of Chelsea following sanctions on owner Roman Abramovich. But for that to go ahead, the club would require another license, blah, blah, blah. Talking about the sanctions. And John Greenberg replies, Tom Ricketts' dream of being criticized for being cheap in 2 countries is on hold.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think there's multiple countries that think Tom Ricketts is cheap ass.
Including me. Spend some money, Tom. It's been, 10 minutes since the...
All I got to tell you is, I think, Michael, you could probably speak better on this. You think Cub fans are nuts. I can't even imagine what Chelsea fans would be like if you tried pulling some bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I can't imagine. Those fucking people have to be separated in the stadium so they don't kill each other.
Yeah.
All right. I have a TFC here from Patrick McCarron. He's a good guy to follow. I enjoy the
Great
stuff
guy.
he posts.
No, he's a great friend of mine.
Yeah, and they were talking about the DH, and he says, I'm equally torn. That said, can't wait to hate on the jersey and helmet sponsor patches. And I just, that's pure cubes right there. Like, yeah, I'm torn about this thing, but I'm really excited to hate on this other dumb shit.
Well, and that's why we have the Son Ranto show, because, we're not going to sit here and be the mouthpiece for anybody except for what we think is right from our socioeconomic statuses, which is we are the voice of the fan. And if you like what you see here on the Son Ranto show, I think you should become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/SonRanto. It's how we do the show. And now that there's going to be a season, we're going to be coming to you a lot more, talking about the Cubs all the time and having a lot of fun all season long. I'm excited, guys. Like, I think we're going to have a good season. It's going to be an interesting one regardless, because let's face it, even though the Cubs aren't that good, neither is the entire Central. I think you can book us if we can take the Central as that division winner that has to play the 3-game wild card. I think if we take the division, we are that team.
Just remember that the money you send to Patreon will be used to get me stumbling drunk before I throw the first pitch. So the more Patreons, the more likely you're going to see me doing a 50-cent type first pitch.
Oh my God. I just watched Bull Durham the other day, and I'm feeling like you're going to hit the bull.
I think it's going to be a fun season. I was distraught. I had given up all hope that we were going to get a season anytime soon. I thought that these last round of talks had broken down. I got fooled by Bob Nightingale twice, and I felt like a fucking idiot. And I'm just glad to see that I only got fooled by him once. And then they actually were kind of close. But it's going to be a great season. Please, patreon.com/SonRanto, or buy our shit and give us money, because we're just going to spend it on you and making this show better and making this year awesome. So we're going to be on Colorcast. Download it, colorcat.st. Search Son Ranto Show. We're going to be on there in just a couple minutes as we get everything set up, and we'll have a discussion over there. Peace, everybody. Spagog, I believe, is what we say.
Baseball is back, Spagog.
Spagog.
Spagog!
It's spring training, pitchers and catchers.
Hey, Danny, how was your winter, man? It sucked. How about them Cubs? What an offseason. Freaking Theo, man. Yeah, totally. Oh, man. You want a beer? All right. This season's gonna be the best, with Hayward and Zobrist and Lackey, plus last year's dudes. We can't lose. That's what they're saying. Oh, man, it's gonna be the best. I'm so stoked. Take it easy, bruh. I need palm trees, Cub fans, the sands. Oh, damn, I am freaking freezing. It is time for pitchers and catchers. We're so close to opening day.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
Do you think they'll trade Soler?
I don't know.
I think they'll probably get a pitcher for him, but maybe wait till the trade deadline.
Hello, Rizzo, I'm gone, bye-bye, goodbye, a flight, too much, gonna drive. It is time for pitchers and catchers, whoa, 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 we're so close to opening day. In Arizona, watching Cubs baseball. Drinking lots of beer, out in the sun. for pitchers and catchers. Whoa, 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 we're so close to opening day. In Arizona, watching Cubs baseball. Drinking lots of beer out in the sun. It is time for pitchers and catchers. Whoa, 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 we're so close to opening day. In Arizona, watching Cubs baseball. Drinking lots of beer out in the sun.
Okay, sorry, we're back. Second ending, everybody. We forgot to do the winner of the Chance for a Chance competition.
This is like the Marvel movies that if you leave while they're still rolling the credit, you're gonna miss some shit.
Oh man. All right, so here I'm gonna put up the giveaway tool here. Chance for a Chance. Last chance, hashtag chance in the chat, and you could win your chance to get a postcard sent to
There
you
are
by me.
16 people in the
There might
in
be
the
more.
drawing so far.
Doesn't it seem like it says 16, but in the end there's like 40?
I'm
I
just
don't know,
glad
let's-
your internet's not gonna freeze so we don't have another fake winner.
I know. I sent both of those guys postcards, by the way. They both won. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. Ooh, I'm in this one. I'm gonna
Why am I
win.
in this one?
Dude, I hope
You're in
win.
it.
Oh, you know what? Oh, thank God.
Oh, so close.
Robert
You almost won.
Sanchez, the biggest winner of all time, Cubs druggist, great friend of the show, and Patreon supporter. Congratulations, Robert. You win. I'm going to send you a postcard. So, all right, now that's really the show. We're just gonna pitch it off with here's all the Patreon supporters. How about that? We'll see you on Colorcast.